now talk about a rare moment of truth from New Delhi, as an Indian defense official has finally admitted what Pakistan has long maintained, and the entire world has reported that Indian fighter jets were shot down by Pakistan Air Force during the intense air battle that took place on the 7th of May 2025. Speaking at a defense seminar in Jakarta, Captain Shiv Kumar, who's India's defense attaché, he confessed that we did lose some aircraft. This confession is a huge cemented evidence of what actually Pakistan achieved on the 7th of May, where it actually left India red-faced in front of the world. And slides at the event suggested that India lost 3 Rafales, 1 Sukhoi 30 and 1 MiG-29. These losses have been concealed until now, but now are being confirmed by India's own military. Kumar blamed the losses not on the Indian Air Force, but on political restrictions from India's leadership, which had barred strikes on Pakistan's military and air defenses, according to him. That this actually left Indian jets vulnerable, and Pakistan's Air Force seized the moment, shooting down multiple aircraft in a single night. And this was a humiliation for India that India will continue to actually bear till the rest of this world. And this revelation has actually triggered backlash in India, with critics accusing the Modi government of misleading the public. And actually, that is what has been the forte of Narendra Modi, where he has actually misled his support base for nearly a decade now. What is important to tell is that Pakistan not only repelled India's attack, but it exposed India's military vulnerability. And this time, the admission has come straight from India's own military ranks. So this is something very massive, and India continues to get exposed. Let's further continue on South Asia only, and let's turn to a very crucial and a diplomatic victory for Pakistan in the long run. The long-run dispute over water is going with India, and this is a conflict that not only affects millions of lives, but actually goes to the heart of regional stability. In a landmark ruling issued on June 27th, the Permanent Court of Arbitration (PCA) affirmed its full jurisdiction in the matter of the Indus Water Treaty dispute between Pakistan and India. The supplemental award was issued in response to India's unilateral move to actually hold the treaty in abeyance earlier this year. And India tried to actually wage war over water. This is a move that was widely condemned, and it is legally baseless. What India is doing is a big threat to regional cooperation, global stability, and it is also completely illegal. Pakistan's Foreign Office welcomed the decision, calling it a clear vindication of Pakistan's stance that the Indus Water Treaty remains a valid and operational document, and it's a treaty that is still operational till date and is in effect. The court's ruling makes it plain and simple that India cannot act alone on the treaty or suspend its obligations at will. Now, when we talk about the regional dispute, it was triggered by the Indian hydroelectric projects at Kishanganga and Ratle, and it has been going on since Pakistan formally approached the court earlier in 2016 under the Article 9 of the Indus Water Treaty. The treaty, brokered by the World Bank back in 1960, outlines clear mechanisms for dispute resolution, and no clause permits unilateral withdrawal or abeyance that was done by India. This is a clear illegality pursued by India, and India must be held accountable for that. India, however, carrying on its merry way of its false hegemonic power of the region, it actually suspended the treaty in May earlier this year following a tragic incident in Indian-occupied Kashmir, which New Delhi falsely blamed on Pakistan, and allegation Islamabad has strongly denied as an Indian false flag operation, because India has not produced even a shred of evidence till date. That false accusation and propaganda by India later fueled the most intense fighting between the two countries in decades before a United States brokered ceasefire brought a halt to the hostilities. Actually, the ceasefire, it actually helped India, because India was actually getting red-faced in front of the world. Reacting on the court's ruling, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar accused India of trying to weaponize water, calling it a form of water terrorism. Pakistan has declared this as an act of war by India, and Defense Minister Khwaja Asif was even more direct, saying that India's defeat in the arbitration leaves no room for unilateralism, adding pointedly. And he said further that Modi's political days are numbered. And you cannot really disagree with that because Narendra Modi seems desperate with his war-mongering moves. And Khwaja Asif also addressed repeatedly confirming that Indian aircraft losses during the recent conflict, hinting that India itself may have been unaware of the full damage until much later, because the scale of the damage has been so massive across all the parts of India that it can certainly take time to actually assess it. And the court's decision is binding and final. Pakistan has law, diplomacy, and global institutions on its side, while India finds itself increasingly cornered for trying to rewrite the international treaties through force. And as we spoke to Jawhar Salim, Mr. Jawhar Salim, who has been the Foreign Secretary of Pakistan, that India has repeatedly tried to actually bully its way through the region, but now it is failing badly, and it will continue to do so until it actually quits its way of this false hegemonic showdown over the region. So this is a very, very interesting development in the course of the regional geopolitical and regional stability.
सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल दबाएं ताकि कोई खबर रह न जाए।